Welcome in. Welcome into the channel. My name's Craig, and this is where we put the spotlight onto German football. This is part 2 of our preview show for all the games that remain in match day 24 of the Bundesliga. Time is short. The vibe is now. So let's do Bundesliga.
St. Pauli versus Borussia Dortmund. Whew. St. Pauli come into this in 15th. Dortmund are in 10th. They're not having the best of seasons at all. Although Niko Kovac is coming and is slowly turning it around. In terms of form, well, for St. Pauli, yeah, it's not great. It's 3 losses in the last 5. The last win was 3-0 at home against Union Berlin, but that was back in mid-January. What's more alarming is the fact they've only won 2 at home all season. St. Pauli are a low-scoring team as well, just the 7 goals at home. And interesting that 4 of those have come from open play, so they're not quite reliant on set pieces as I thought they might have been. But then again, they've only scored 18, all told, home and away. The defence is tight, though, which is the paradox, right? 7 clean sheets with 3 of those at home, which is important because there are goals in this Dortmund team, don't forget. As for Dortmund's form, well, they've won only 2 out of the last 5. However, the last time out, they did put 6 past Union Berlin, and that was 4 for Girassi, who did look classy, up front on his own. Then again, they've only won 2 away all season, which is the reason that Mr. Surin got fired in the first place. Plus, they've only scored 12 away from home, which again is lower than what you would expect, really, with a team that's got such combined firepower. So they've scored 12 away. 7 of them, funnily enough, have come in the last 5 away games. They score in the second half. Yeah, it's the team talk, so it must be, right? There's something that Niko Kovac is saying to them at half-time. Maybe he's throwing teacups. Maybe he's throwing bratwurst. I don't know, but it's working, right? Because, they've scored 6 in the second half since he's come in. They've kept 2 clean sheets away from home. And here's one for you. 33 corners in the last 5 games. Which, again, proves that they're attacking from the flanks, and they're winning those crucial set pieces. The head-to-head is yellow and black, effectively. Dortmund have won 4. Last time was 2-1 back in October. And 3 times they've won at home. This fixture has produced 11 goals. Take a look for Eric Smith. Or Schmidt. Actually, he's a Swede, so... Smith? God. What do I get myself into? Anyway, yeah, look out for Eric Smith. He's a DM in the midfield. He's played 21 times this season. He's got a goal, and then you'll never guess who that was against. Yeah, it was against Dortmund in a 2-1 loss. He's feisty, likes getting stuck in. He's got 31 tackles to his name, and he's a winner, right? He's won 62 ground duels. For Dortmund, it's one of my favourites. He's Austrian, right? Again. It's a production line there, right? Marcel Sabitzer. Yeah. 20 games. He's drawing a blank in the goals and assists column, which is a little bit disappointing. That said, he's not shy of taking a shot. He's had 11. 5 of those have been on target, so he's getting closer with each game. He also gets stuck in, a bit like Mr. Smith. 25 tackles, and he's won 48 ground duels. So this could be an interesting matchup. I'm being brave, but cautious with this prediction. I'm going 1-0 Dortmund on the basis that, they've got Pascal Gross, who notched up 4 assists in one game just on his own last time out against Union Berlin. They've got Girassi, who I believe he's scored 10 now for the season. 4 of those in one game. last time out. You've got Adeyemi, who's one of the quickest men, if not in the world, let alone in German football. You've got Julian Brandt, you've got Gittins, you've got Ryerson, you've got Bensabiani, you've got Emre Can keeping it tight at the back. And St. Pauli, yes, okay, they're disciplined. They can keep a clean sheet, they can hold their own. I just think Dortmund are getting on. They need to get on a roll, right? If Dortmund want to compete in Europe next year, even if it's the Conference League, which arguably for a team like that, they've probably got a high chance of winning it. In order to get there first, they've got to start winning games. So I think it doesn't just start; it continues with this game at the Millerton. Yeah, the Millerton. Yeah, they're going to win 1-0 basically. Yeah, Eintracht Frankfurt, yes, Les Scouse versus Bayer Leverkusen is a clash right at the top of the table. Frankfurt are currently sitting in third, and they're pushing Leverkusen, but to be fair, I think that horse has already bolted. And Leverkusen themselves, well, they're currently 8 points, but that could be extended to 11 if Munich are able to win away at Stuttgart on Freitag. In terms of form for Frankfurt, well, the Eagles, they've got 3 draws, 1 win and a loss out of their last 5, so almost a complete house, right? They were battered 4-0 away at Munich last time out on Spieltag 23, but we can forgive them because it's Munich, right? And there's goals in every foot, in every player. Frankfurt have won 7 at home, though, this season, so that'll be comforting. Their last win being 3-1 against HOLSTEIN KIEL, who are propping up the table. They've scored 29 at home, so they are absolutely not goal shy. 11 of those 29 have come in their last 5 home matches, which actually makes them the second highest scorers at home in the Bundesliga this season. And 70% of their goals are coming from open play. And how does a team build a platform to win and score goals? Well, you keep things tight at the back, and they've done that. There's 3 clean sheets in there at home this season. So it's a nice blend between the back and the front. And all that, by the way, is without Omar Mamouche, who's gone Vamouche to Manchester City for a record fee. Leverkusen, well, they are the Invincibles from last season. Sadly, that record won't be repeated again this time round because there was one prickly loss early on in the season. It was a second game in, actually. Yeah, they lost 3-2 to Leipzig. In a game where Leipzig were 2-0 down, by the way. In the last 5 games, yes, there's 2 wins, but there's also 3 draws in there. So, yeah, it's a bit of a lean patch for Leverkusen. There's 2 consecutive 0-0s. Like I say, one of those been against Munich, sandwiched in their last 5 games. But they have, more importantly, won 7 times away from home. And they've scored 22 in that time period. 9 of those goals have come in their last 5. And get this for a data point. Leverkusen are unbeaten. Well, they're on an unbeaten run, I should say, of 28 consecutive games. 28 consecutive games unbeaten away from home. The head-to-head's quite interesting, actually. Leverkusen, well, they've won 4 consecutive times out of 5. 3 of those being home wins. Frankfurt's only win out of the last 5 was emphatic, though. It was a 5-1 thrashing in the 22-23 season. Now, this fixture, by the way, has produced 22 goals in just 5 games. And even with all that said, there's still been 1 game where the other team didn't reply with a goal. It felt right to point out the legend that is Mario Götze. Yeah, Mario Götze, he's the one, at least to watch this time around for Eintracht Frankfurt. This guy has played for multiple clubs, both domestically in Germany. He's also played for PSV in the Eredivisie. But in the Bundesliga alone, he's played, I think it's 312 times, that's right. He's contributed 65 goals and 55 assists. And also, this is the guy that's represented Germany from pretty much every age level, from under 15s right the way through to the national team. And actually, he scored the winning goal for Germany at the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. So this man has won all the honours that you can think of. And he's the one to watch for me for Frankfurt this time around. In terms of the Bundesliga this season, well, in 18 games, he's scored twice and he's contributed with 2 assists. He has proven absolutely knows where the goal is, and he's so efficient that the 5 shots he's taken, 4 of those have been on target. He's a team player, responsible for 82.2% pass completion rate. More importantly, 23 of those passes have proved key or crucial in helping his other team members contribute towards the amount of goals that Frankfurt have scored this season. As for Leverkusen, well, it would be easy to pick out some of the obvious stars. So I thought this time, let's have a look at Frimpong. Yeah, Jeremy Frimpong, he's very adaptable. He can play both as a fullback, as a wing back, even as an inside forward on the right. This season so far, he's played 22 times. He scored 3. He's laid on 4. Yes, that's 4 assists, which is a great return for his positioning. Not shy either of taking a shot. He's put in 12, 8 of which have been on target. Like I say, he can play both as a wing back or as an inside right, and it's in that position, or those positions, where he's contributed with 69 crosses and is an amazing, mazy dribbler. He's got 55 of those dribbles to his name so far this season. Yeah, Jeremy Frimpong, an adaptable player that's played at the highest level. As you can see, I'm going 2 on Leverkusen, and that's on the basis that I always fancy Frankfurt to get a goal. Yes, they have been heavily reliant on Omar Mamouche, but since he's gone Vamouche, they have brought in a striker, albeit it feels like they're blooding him in gently, and that's Eli Wahi, who's coming from Marseille. But they've got Hugo Ekitike, right? Ekitike scored 12 times this season. Chanelzan's got 4. Hugo Larsen's got 3. One off his knee the other week against HOLSTEIN KIEL. Nathaniel Brown, Lucas Silva-Mello. So they've got goals in this team, Frankfurt. My reservation would be that Leverkusen just need to keep winning, right? And that's in order to reduce the gap on Munich, whilst also hoping that Munich slip up. So, yeah, the fact that Leverkusen know how to score, both from open play and set pieces, and they've got Patrick Schick up front, who's being supplied by Florian Wirtz, is one of the leading assist makers this time around. Yeah, let's go for it, right? My prediction is it's a Bayer Leverkusen win away 2-1. Union Berlin versus HOLSTEIN Kiel. Now, whilst it's not exactly a sect Punkte, because there's 11 points difference between the two sides, with Union in 13th and HOLSTEIN Kiel propping up everybody else in 18th, it still feels like it's a must-win game with a lot of pressure attached for both teams. Now, Union, in their last 5, there's 3 losses in there. Yeah, there's a win and a draw. Actually, that win was, I guess it came against the rub of the green, really. It was a 4-0 away win to Hoffenheim. Now, actually, as a team, they're pretty stubborn at home. They've won 4 and they've drawn 4 as well. They only lost 3, which is key here, right? And conceded just the 11, which includes 3 clean sheets, right? So even though they've only conceded 11 at home, conversely, they've only scored 11 at home, right? And actually, it's only St. Pauli and Heidenheim that have scored less, with 7 and 9 respectively. So it's like tight but don't score against a team that just struggled to score full stop. For HOLSTEIN Kiel, it's 2 draws and 3 L's, 3 losses in their last 5. Their last win was 4-2 and this was a surprise, right? This is, again, one of the reasons why Niko Kovac is now in a job. Their last win was a 4-2 at home to Dortmund back in early January. So wins are hard to come by. In fact, get this right, HOLSTEIN KIEL haven't won a single game away all season. And this is matched only by Bochum, who, again, are right down there at the bottom with Kiel. They've lost 8 times away from home, which is worrying. Although they've scored 18 times away, which is quite a paradox, right? If you discount the 4-3 game against Munich, where they scored 3 times, but the game was already over, they came close against Freiburg in early January, where they scored 2 late on to try and rally for the draw, but lost out 3-2. And in 18 times, yes, 8 times, HOLSTEIN KIEL have conceded the first goal. Considering that HOLSTEIN KIEL were only promoted to the Bundesliga for this season, well, that means there's only been one previous encounter between the two sides, and that was the reverse Bundesliga fixture back in October. FYI, the other previous encounters between the two have either been World Club friendlies or Bundesliga 2 games. And actually, it was Union Berlin that won in the Bundesliga in the previous game. 2-0 was the final score. Aljosy Keimlin, yeah, that sounds about right. Anyway, he scored in the 18th minute, and the victory was sealed in the 89th minute by Tom Roth. FYI, the young German left-back, well, he assisted that opening goal, and he's played 16 times, and he's scored twice. From left-back. Baller. Berlin is arguably an international city, so it's only fitting that I want you to look out for this international star. Woo Ying-jong. I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, Woo Ying-jong is a shadow striker from South Korea. Now, he scored 2 and assisted 1 in 19 games this season for Union Berlin. He's had 13 shots, 5 of which have been on target, and notched up 11 successful dribbles. As for HOLSTEIN KIEL, well, from Korea to Japan, there's probably a song in that somewhere. Shoto Mashino, the Japanese-born striker. In 21 times, he scored 7 for Kiel, which actually would explain why they've managed to score 18 times away from home, yeah? So, and 1 assist as well, so he's contributing as part of his all-round game. Out of 20 shots, 12 have been on target, and he scored 2 or more on 2 separate occasions, and dribbled past his opponent 3 times, which puts him in the 93rd percentile for that particular skill. His goals are going to be valuable and valid if they're going to manage to get a result against Union Berlin, which they're desperate for, considering where they are in the table. And after all that, talking about Japanese and South Korean strikers, I've gone 0-0. Yeah, complete anticlimax there. I bottled it, but yeah, I just feel that Union Berlin will keep it tight, don't score many. Kiel are desperate. I just think it's going to be a shutout. It's going to be 0-0, which, again, will keep Union further and further away from the trapdoor. It just won't do anything for Kiel. They're going to have to go on a Sunderland-esque great escape towards the latter end of the season. So yeah, 0-0. Augsburg versus Freiburg. Now, this is a curious game. Augsburg being in 11th, Freiburg up in 4th. As for the form chart, well, Augsburg are now unbeaten in their last 5. Yes, unbeaten in 5. That's 2 wins, including a 3-0 surprise away win at Gladbach, which was the Alexei Claude Maurice show. Pretty lean at home, though, as well. Only lost 3. That's to Mainz, Leverkusen and Stuttgart. considering the makeup of those three teams, I think that's admirable. Whilst only conceding 11 goals at home, and part of that stat is 4 clean sheets. Plus they've won 5 at home, having scored 14. So the picture for Augsburg looks pretty rosy. And actually, even for Freiburg, right, they've got 4 wins. Yes, 4 Ws out of their last 5 games. And 2 of those came away from home. All right, albeit to teams that are around them, as in St. Pauli and Bochum, teams that arguably they should be winning. But you can only win what's put in front of you, right? And other than a 2-1 home defeat to Munich, they've won 4 away from home. All right, they've only scored 10, but they grind out 1-0 wins. That's what they've built their success on this season. Yeah, being able to play gritty, to keep it tight, catch teams on the break from a set piece, or just that rare moment of skill. 42% of their goals, by the way, come in the red zone between the 51st and the 70th minute. I'm pretty sure that's the same time period that Claude Maurice got his hat-trick in away at Gladbach. The head-to-head between the two sides is dominated by Freiburg. They've won 4 out of the last 5, the most recent being a 3-1 win at home last October. Actually, 3 of those wins have been at home. It's an interesting fixture, though, one that's produced 17 goals. We've called out one Greek player already in this preview. Here's another one, right? Here's Dimitris Giannolis? Yeah, that feels about right. Anyway, he's a left wing back for Augsburg. He's put in a good effort, actually. It's 4 assists in 20 games. So, if his name's not memorable enough, that performance from a wing back certainly is. So he puts in the defensive work as well, actually. He's 28 interceptions and 36 tackles. And then getting forward, he's responsible for 16 successful dribbles and 72 crosses. Yeah, what a tidy package is Dimitri Giannoulis. Still feels right, second time round. As for Freiburg, I've called this out on my TikTok recently. Have a look out for Magic Merlin Roll. The 22-year-old German centre midfielder. All right, he's still learning his craft as a magician. He's played 15 games, 1 assist so far, 33 dribbles, so he's proven that he's a technical player. 40%, that's impressive, 40% cross completion rate, which puts him in the 93rd percentile. And more importantly, he's a fighter. Yeah, he likes to get stuck in because he's won 51 ground duels. Definitely one to look out for, if not just for today, but for the future, right? Could be a future Mr. Goetze. And it might come as a surprise. However, I've gone 1-0 Freiburg away from home for the win. And I've done that on the basis that, form, I suppose. Freiburg have won 4 out of the last 5. That's 2 away from home. In terms of the assists, there's a machine in midfield, between Vincenzo Grifo, Ritzendoen and Magic Merlin Roll. That's 12 assists. There's 4 goals have come from a right back in Lucas Kubel, and they've got an out-and-out striker anyway called Lucas Holler. All right, he's only scored 2 this season, but they've got goals all over. And don't forget, this is the same team that beat Werder Bremen 5-0 recently, with the likes of Kylian Sedilia, a centre-back, scoring a spectacular overhead kick. And you add all that in to a team that's currently in 4th, that will be just like, they can taste European football. They can taste Champions League football, right? So I think with that bit between the teeth, they're going to be highly reluctant to let it go. On that basis, I've gone Freiburg to win 1-0 away. And that wraps up our preview show for match day 24. If you've got this far in the video, thank you so much. Thank you. Deeply grateful. I am just going to ask one tiny favour, please. And that's if you could leave me a like. Like, support the channel. They enable other people to find it. Helps our growth. Yes, we're small now, but trust me, we've got big, bold, brazen ambitions. I take any comments as well, please, and corrections. Again, I'm only human, so anything you've got for me, please leave them down there in the comment section. And a subscribe, well, that would be wunderbar. And actually, it would help you because then you would know when the review show comes out. Yes, there will be a review show for all these games from match day 24 coming real soon. So, we're pretty much done now. All that's left to be said is I've been Craig, and this, my friends, is where we've been putting the spotlight onto German football. Auf Wiedersehen!